Hello friends, this is Chris. So today I'm going to see, the four horrifying paranormal activities that has even encountered, and this is recently. Okay, some of the people they have recorded this type of encounters, paranormal encounters, and now today's world is an internet world. Wherever, whatever you get, you just make it a record through your phones or any other devices. Now, this is just a documentary type where some of the people are just delivering their witness, whatever they have encountered, whatever paranormal activities they have encountered, and they have recorded in their mobiles or cameras, whatever else. So, this is some of the incident-based incident you have ever seen. So, let's see what was the best paranormal encounters. Let's see.
They say dogs experience the world differently from humans. Their senses of smell and hearing are far better than ours. But a recent video has people wondering if these superpowers go far beyond their noses and ears. On a sweltering July day in 2020, UK resident Meg Oxby.
That's an obvious, if something just goes beyond our senses, then it becomes paranormal. Now, paranormal means whatever we don't have any description. I mean, in scientific terms, if you don't have any descriptions how it is linked, how it happened, then for the human perspective, it becomes the paranormal, right? And if you have got the links, I mean, if you got the descriptions that yes, these things, this is everything has a cause, everything has a effect, then that's become natural. So, likewise.
And Jeff Parlett are on a hike with their trio of Hungarian Vizslas, unaware of what they're about to witness.
Okay.
We were walking along, just having a chat like we normally do, and then we noticed that the dogs were not moving.
What?
At first, this looks like a photograph, but keep watching. The camera starts moving.
Oh man.
Yet the dogs all appear to be frozen in their tracks.
We couldn't believe it.
What the?
You could see the leaves moving and all the bushes.
Yes, it's a horrifying, man. I mean, everything is just moving. The surrounded parts is moving, cameras moving, trees are moving, bushes are moving, humans are moving, but the dogs become freezed. I don't know why. I mean, it's like a time machine. Like you have seen the films. Lots of people become films. They become freezed, and the actor or actress just moving around, watching all those movements, watching all those freezing parts. What this man? I mean, horrible things.
But the dogs were completely still.
I'm telling you, we are not freezing or slowing down this video. You can tell by the shrubbery right here that it's moving in the wind.
Yeah.
Now check out how this dog has his leg raised and tail curled. And this other dog is frozen in mid-step.
Wow, man.
Look, it seems impossible to maintain balance like that.
Yes.
The three Vizslas stay in that position for 4 whole minutes before resuming their normal dog activity.
Oh man.
We were completely gobsmacked.
What
Ancient
this
cultures
means?
from the Greeks to the Romans to Koreans all have myths about dogs having supernatural ability. The Mayans believed that dogs, known for being great swimmers, swam the souls of the dead across a shadowy lake to the afterlife.
Oh.
Forensic investigator Chase Klotsky wonders if something like that is at work here.
Are there like forces somehow making them stop like that? It seems like a theory is that dogs have a spiritual side almost. They sense things like earthquakes, illness, even death sometimes.
Recent studies have explored whether dogs have some sort of sixth sense to communicate telepathically. Meg and Jeff concur. Their dogs seem to have some kind of canine ESP.
They knew what they were all doing, and they knew how long to stay still for. So it's just amazing how they can communicate without actually speaking.
I mean, what is happening? I mean, what an incident. It's a new type of incident, right? You are exploring some new type. People doesn't familiar with this type of things. I mean, all just came in a halt. Dogs came in a halt. They just freezed. All the three dogs, and then they went back to their normal activity. And it is just not for 1 or 3 seconds or 2 seconds. It's just for 4 minutes. 4 minutes, all three dogs come in a freezing point. I mean, what is the sense? I mean, there is no reason why they become, halt. The video camera, the cameraman is capturing all those things. Or every surrounded parts are just moving, and these three parts get freezed. I don't know.
That side of it is kind of magical.
Yeah, it's magical.
That was me trying to freeze for just 5 seconds. It's impossible. I'm too twitchy. So forget about 4 whole minutes.
4 whole minutes.
It's clear these dogs can do some amazing things, right? But can they really freeze themselves in mid-step? Let's take the video to our experts.
Okay, analyze.
Zoologist Roxy Furman considers whether a supernatural force may have terrified the dogs into a form of paralysis.
Dogs definitely do freeze when they're afraid, so there could be something that's made them scared, but not in their body language that indicates fear. Their ears are up, their tails up. Weaselers are hunting dogs, but I don't think that they can be that still for the entire duration of a 4-minute video without kind of any movement. It looks like it's been edited in some way.
Compare this other video of hunting Vizslas with Meg and Jeff's. You can see these other dogs don't maintain their posture as well or as long. So maybe Roxy's right. Meg and Jeff's dog video can't be real.
So there are apps that can be downloaded on these mobile devices
Now,
that can animate certain areas of the picture. Well,
I mean, now those analyzers, they will just now say that it's an editing video or apps. But we don't know what is the actual thing. I mean, why they come all in a halt, all the 3 dogs. Who doesn't know? But yes, there are some editing parts. There is some apps where you can edit all those only that particular type. Maybe. Let's see.
preserving other areas frozen in time. Although these apps can deceive a viewer, we found no evidence to support that this file was manipulated or slowed down or frozen in any way.
So this is, in fact, real. Still, biology professor Floyd Hayes believes this is just the product of centuries of breeding.
This is a behavior that is selectively bred for in several breeds of dogs, although it is reinforced in dogs by training. In fact, they actually can be trained to lift a paw above the ground when they are pointing.
Hayes may be onto something here. At the end of the video, we do see the dogs unfreeze as soon as a bird flies away. But here's the catch. Meg and Jeff say they have never trained their dogs to behave like this.
We teach them, sit and stay, but this was coming on a completely different scale.
Okay, so now these 2 persons are just telling that they have never trained this type of things. I mean, yes, why they will train this type of things? Why those dogs are going for hunting? Why? They are just normal couple and they will not train this type of things. Yes, this type of training only happens in police or military campaign, right? Don't know what is the real truth.
Scale and something that I can't see being taught to them whatsoever.
Verdict.
Our verdict? This is still an animal anomaly. These 3 Vizslas really did freeze in place for 4 minutes. And if Meg and Jeff truly didn't train them to do this, how they stopped time is still a doggone mystery. October 2018. Jason Aslin is giving friends a tour along the shores of Lake Superior near Marquette, Michigan.
As we're walking along the lakeshore, I heard somebody gasp and I looked over and I saw them pointing out into the water and I said, "What is that out there?"
What?
Jason pulls out his camera and starts recording.
What
There
is
appears to
that?
be a tall and large object on the horizon. So let's take a closer look.
What is that?
The object is gray in color, but the shape appears pretty blurry. Jason and his friends think it might be a ship.
This ship would have had to have been hundreds of feet into the air. We never thought that it was a ghost ship at the time, but when I got home and watched the video, that's all I could think of. We just saw a ghost ship.
What is that? Ghost ship?
since the late 1800s, there have been hundreds and hundreds of shipwrecks that have occurred on Lake Superior. It's definitely a dangerous patch of water that is essential for trade, but very risky to travel in.
From the SS Western Reserve in 1892 to the Hudson in 1901, many large freighters have sunk in bad weather, only to be seen again, allegedly plying the waters long after a tragic wreck.
friends, have you seen the ship? I mean, I just saw some smoky types of thing, blurry. It was blurry. Only smoky things, but no ships I have seen through this video. But the locals, this person, the witness person is saying that he has seen a ship. I mean, when he watched, it was like when he watched in his computer. I mean, when he watched the video. I don't think so. For me, I just see some smoke things.
Locals call it the Flying Dutchman of Lake Superior, and people still claim to see it to this day.
That's a reference to the legendary Flying Dutchman, the doomed 17th century ship that's been sighted and spoken of for centuries. Jason can't help but wonder if this is the mysterious phenomenon he's captured on camera.
We just witnessed something out of this world.
There's a poem about the world's most famous phantom ship with the line, "They who see the Flying Dutchman never reach the shore." But when it comes to getting answers, never say never. Here's what we found.
Okay.
First, science writer and forensic video analyst Mick West focuses on the shape of the object in Jason's video. He notes that most famous shipwrecks in Lake Superior are freighters with steam engines. This looks different.
It looks like a sail ship. I don't know whether they have big sail ships on the Great Lakes, but that's what it looks like, and if that's unexpected, then that's a clue that it's not actually a ship.
Yeah,
Next, the team considers another possibility.
because for me, I think just this is smoky part, and it's not a ship. Just some smoking. I mean, some explosion has happened on that part.
Physicist Dr. Michio Kaku says it might be a mirage.
A mirage is caused by temperature inversion,
Mirage.
and dense air bends light more than hot air.
A temperature inversion can make images below the horizon visible, distorted in the distance. So could the weather be causing this effect? Atmospheric scientist Dr. Deanna Hintz looked at the data the day the sighting happened and sees just such an inversion.
The temperature is decreasing and it's actually getting closer to zero. So this is that temperature inversion that can lead to that warm air sitting on top of cold air. This can actually really change how light can propagate through the atmosphere.
Then Mick West tries to put the pieces together. Could a temperature inversion have distorted something that is already there? Turns out, there's a small island 12 miles offshore in this area that's normally hard to see.
Above, we have a view of the island. So this is the direction we're looking from. So I just simply lined up the lighthouse here in the top with the lighthouse down here. So that lines up perfectly.
Okay, so I think that some far away there is some islands where this type of smoky funeral is there. I mean, smoky tunnel is there, right? So from there, smoke was coming out. So that is the main analyzer is telling us.
So what is that thing? The key for us was the temperature data and that island. Our verdict, mirage. A temperature inversion caused an island that's usually a bump on the horizon to look like a phantom ship. It's January 17th.
So yeah, it's a mirage. Now, conclusion is it's a mirage or temperature incursions. That is the cold air sits below and the hot air sits up on the cold air. So that's the temperature incursion. That is the main thing. Here the analyzer people are telling.
In 2020 in Fargo, North Dakota, winter has really set in with packed snow and ice on the ground. Temperatures dipping to 1 degree overnight. After looking at an office space to rent, accountant and mother of 6, Nicole Hepner, returns to her car and records something very strange.
It was very icy, and it was so windy that I could hardly even walk on the sidewalks. It was almost blowing my feet out from underneath me. And I noticed that there was a light pole in the parking lot that was just wiggling. It was rattling really loudly. Everyone thought it was really unique and crazy and special. It just made you think that we can all feel the cold. It affects things that even aren't alive,
What
like
is
the
that?
cars and the buildings.
And here's what makes this a mystery. We can see that the wind was blowing. Look at that bush. But strangely, there's an identical pole in the background that doesn't seem to move at all. Animism is a religious belief that
animism. What is that, man? Okay, so it believes that every object has a soul. So what this one was saying, I mean, the object is having soul at that point of time. Any soul came inside that object and then the object was just wiggling around.
Can try to see if there's a scientific explanation for what we're seeing here, no matter how uncanny it may be. So let's have our experts weigh in. Could the cold have caused this?
I mean, it's very interesting, right? You do have nowadays, you have camera, you have mobile, you have recording some devices, many things are there nowadays. So, if you tell the stories, and with having some proof that this is the thing, this is that video I have seen, I have captured, then it's becoming interesting. But if you tell the stories normally and you don't have the proof, then it's remain as a story for us. It's a story, or it's something else, or it's a mystery, or something else happened. It's just a story. Now, when you see the visuals, then it's become much more interesting, right? So, either it doesn't happen, either you don't have that type of device that you can record to some point of time, whatever you find interesting. But nowadays, it is interesting, right? There is analyzer that will analyze. We have the device to capture anything. So it's much more interesting, right? We can just decipher the interesting facts.
Atmospheric scientist Dr. Deanna Hens has pulled up the weather data from that day when temperatures were well below the freezing mark.
Typically speaking, these kind of poles easily withstand cold temperatures. We see these kind of light poles all over the country, and they're built to withstand a wide range of conditions.
That takes us to the wind. Could it be to blame?
Given that hint that the wind was affecting the bush within the video screen, I just wanted to check and see the wind speeds. It turns out that they were going at a pretty healthy clip, anywhere from roughly about 30 to closer to 40 miles per hour.
In fact, Hens says a blizzard was blowing through the region that weekend, at times causing whiteout conditions. But physicist Dr. Hakeem O'Shea says it's not only the speed of the wind that matters, but its direction and frequency.
Any gust of wind is not going to cause a light pole to shake in this way. What we're looking at potentially is resonant phenomena, and so what matters is the frequency of the wind.
Everything solid has a natural frequency of vibration. Well, you don't have to hit an object with a hammer, you can hit it with the wind. The wind makes vibrations in this lamppost, and these vibrations are magnified if they resonate with the length of the lamppost.
So when the vibration of the wind hitting the light post has the same frequency as the natural frequency of the post, it amplifies the vibration, causing this resonance effect. Physicist Dr. Michio Kaku says if the resonance were to get strong enough.
Okay, so this is just a vibration mechanism, right? Vibration mechanism. So the wind was having some resonance, I mean some frequency, and that frequency is matching to the pole frequency, and that is why the pole was just shaking. It's just shaking, I mean wiggling. Now everything will come, scientific terms will come out.
The light pole might actually collapse.
That's what happened in 1940 in Washington. The Tacoma Narrows Bridge collapsed as a consequence of wind passing over the bridge, causing the entire bridge to oscillate like a snake.
This is a phenomenon known as aeroelastic flutter, which occurs when the energy from the wind is rapidly absorbed by the structure and converted into mechanical vibrations. So, our verdict. It was certainly cold enough in North Dakota to make people shiver, but the light post is vibrating so violently because the wind gusts are causing resonance. And the adjacent light post isn't moving because the wind is hitting it at a different frequency. Perhaps because the vibrating post is in a tight wind tunnel. It's May 2020, and when Alexa Walkovitz learned her mother's dog, Lala, was lost, she and her friend Anna did something you might find hard to believe.
We look at how we pick the settings, and we just think really, really long and hard about Lala. Let's visualize in our mind us finding her.
What? Well, believe it or not, it's all about an app called Randonautica. Alexa and her friends set an intention and thought of her mother's dog. The Randonautica app claims to direct people to a real-world encounter with those intentions, then displayed random GPS coordinates near her home in the Mojave Desert.
We're walking forward, and Anna turns to me and kind of like says, "What's that?" And there was a little animal. Where did this come from? And I realized it was a dog.
Take another look. Out of nowhere, this dog appears in the desert. Now, it turned out this dog wasn't her mother's. It had escaped from a nearby property. And although Alexa never found Llama, she is convinced the app taps into the power of the mind.
It was kind of a healing adventure because maybe that was my dog speaking to that dog and was trying to say to you, like, listen, it's okay. Here I am to comfort you for a moment.
Experiences like Alexa's made Randonautica the craze of 2020. In just 3 months, the app drew over 15 million downloads, with thousands of posts on social media of people declaring their intentions.
The intention for my randomized journey is purple.
Heading to random locations.
Is that a purple?
And finding their wishes at least partially fulfilled. Like thinking of purple and then having the app lead to this backyard.
Randonautica, what this app, man? I mean, you have some intentions and then you are just finding that intentions physically appearing in reality. So I mean, if you have lost something and you are thinking that I want to get this app, that this app will give you the exact locations and you are just going heading towards the locations and then you are finding. I mean, maybe it's completely fulfilled or partially fulfilled. So, what a crazy man.
Kind of blowing my mind right now.
So does the world of the mind connect with the physical world? Can Randonautica really manifest our intentions? We asked our friendly physicist to come up with an experiment to test it.
Let's see what analysis is speaking.
Dr. Hakeem Oluseyi and Dr. Michio Kaku give us our guidelines.
In order to test this idea to see if it works, you have to do a lot of tests to remove the statistical uncertainties, and you have to keep very careful records of when you're right and when you're wrong.
Second, when it comes to a goal, make it specific and not metaphorical.
My intention was adventure and cool stuff, and this is so cool.
Not something that looks pretty. No, cash. That to me would be a very convincing experiment.
So that's just what we did, asking our test subject to declare cash as her intention.
$100. $100.
The app generates random GPS coordinates. Now let's see where we're going.
Now let's see.
Part of a hair brush.
So far, no cash.
Alright, my intention, $100. $100.
Let's see if our intentions comes true or not.
Weird bubble thing.
Our subject keeps repeating the experiment.
My intention, $100.
Then, at one location, no dollar bills, but
Lots of batteries. So we didn't find any money at this location. There is a bank really close to here, so you never know. Maybe that's what's in here.
like many Randonautica stories, the exact
Community
intention
day.
didn't manifest. But something kind of related. So what's happening here? Kaku believes the explanation is something called the synchronicity effect, a phenomenon where people interpret two coincidental events as intertwined.
Synchronicity, for example, is you're thinking about Joe, and Joe calls you on the telephone. And you say to yourself, aha, I knew it, I'm psychic.
It's kind of blowing my mind right now.
But Kaku explains why everyone remembers the occasional hits.
Most of the time they're misses. You forget about them. But think of all the times when you thought about Jane and Harry, and they didn't call you.
Yeah, this type of coincidence happens in real life also. Why you were just targeting about the apps, right? Many things happen without any apps. You are thinking, telepathy, you are thinking about something or somebody and that person came or that their call came or something just related to them and happened in your life. It's just magical, I mean, telepathy. It happens. And for in this case, I mean, this app they are using and something is happening, I mean, partially fulfilled or impartially fulfilled. Manifestations happened in reality. So it's they are thinking now that's magic for their app. So what to tell? I mean, Randonautica, I mean, it's partial. I mean, it can fill you something and another thing is not can fill you something. So one positive and one negative, both the sides are there. Like this woman was finding some $100 cash and she never found the $100 cash. Something irrelevant she has found. She has found. I mean, battery or some devices or some paper. And at last she came to a bank, community bank, where she can withdraw $100 from an ATM. So that's irrelevant for me. I mean, if you are targeting to get some $100, then you will get an open cash. I mean, raw cash will get, right? So both the things are happening. One is positive and one is negative. It doesn't depend on the device. I mean, on the apps. It can depend on real life too. Also, if you don't have the apps, then also many things happens, which is just, you want and it came, right? Maybe not an instant or some days later or tomorrow or day after tomorrow. It happens, or today it happens. So that time you doesn't bother. That time you doesn't think that, oh man, or maybe you bother, magic's happen or telepathy happens, or you just missed. Okay, you just missed. You just don't keep that records.
Our verdict? Most likely coincidence, which comes from people making very simple wishes like something that will make me happy. But there is a lot we still don't know about this universe. But that's what we think. What do you think?
So friends, this was just the 4 horrifying paranormal encounters. I mean, these are the encounters you can describe, you can come to conclusions that these things happened. But what about something else? I mean, something else mean where there is no description for the human, right? Like, there are many ghost places, ghost hunting places. I mean, there is many paranormal activity places where scientists can never find out what these things are happening, how these things are happening, never find out. Right now, for example, Bermuda Triangle. Now, Bermuda Triangle still it's a very much mystery for the scientists also. Why it happening? How is it happening? Still, some say that there is a core is there which attracts, or some say it's a time machine, or some say it's a black hole for the Earth. Many things. Black hole, another thing. That's a great mystery for the humankind, right? Black hole, another thing. You see the universe, there is a black hole, and if you enter, then you will never return. So it's grasping the universe, and it's again a mystery for us, human mystery. Lots of mystery. Now this is just an outer world. Now what happens to the inner world? I mean, this world is also having lots of mystery, which scientists are still finding out what is related to it, how is it happening. Like, for example, our brain is the most mysterious thing in this world, most mysterious thing. Still, scientists cannot figure out how our brain works, how brain is doing something else, how neurons are producing, how can we produce new neurons. Many things are there inside our brains, which is still mystery. 5% we are using, 95% we are becoming wasteless. How can we use it, this type of 95% of brain? It's just a process. I mean, if you go to the YouTube and finding out how to use it, 95% of the brains, it's just a process, and you would never follow that things, because you have a regular life, you have to go to jobs, you have to do business, many things are there you have to do, and you never follow those type of 95% of these brain to use it. So brain is another mysterious thing on this earth. So there is lots of mysterious thing, but in this type of 4 videos, I just find that the dogs one is mysterious, because all just came in a halt. All 3 dogs came in a halt, right? Like just a time. I mean, time was just got freezed. Time got freezed for those 3 dogs, and rest of the part were just moving. 3 dogs were freezed. I mean, they were just frozen. That was the most interesting thing. And rest, you can know, you just come to conclusions, right? So friends, what do you think about these 4 horrifying videos? Just let me know. Thank you.